I understand you are a poet and you enjoy poetry. Is there a poem by a poet that you admire that describes your life as an actor? Whether it's struggle, whether it's fun, whether it's interesting, fascinating?
Well, not a poem about acting, but
or in general.
Song of Myself, the Walt Whitman poem, which is just about America and about all the different elements. Like, I think that's a poem that I really related to, because he tried to see everything. He tried to see the animals, he saw the plants, he saw the human body, he saw the politician, he saw all the different workers in the city, he saw the cities, and he saw the plains, he saw the different parts of America. He saw that it was the poet's job to bring all these different elements, both the physical, the spiritual, the emotional, the personal, the public, and bring them all together and express the meaning of those and like the essence of those and our perception of those. And it was his job to communicate that. So I think he was trying to be aware of everything and how it all relates. And so I think that resonated with me as an actor, because you got to be aware of it all, or at least try to. You won't know everything, and if you think that, then you're gonna stop progressing. But you always got to try. You know, what did he say? Something like, he's talking about how he's at the opera house. He says I'm not quoting directly, but the voice of the soprano like brings me convulsions like the climax of my love grip.
Okay.
And I was like, damn, man, that guy. That's a cool way of looking at the world. That guy's so into opera, and he's just so into the product of this woman and the writing and the house that all these people are watching it in. That guy literally is coming on life.
Why Walt Whitman, though? Like, are there other poems? What is it about his being so aware, like this watcher? Is he also an outsider? But he watches.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, he used free verse, and it was so much more wild and loose, and not as tight and concise as the British poetry. And even American poets tended to write in the British tradition. You know, like there would be a certain number of beats for every line, and like there'd be rhyming, and you know, you had like a very specific point that you had to make in a very kind of like grounded and controlled framework. And Walt Whitman just cut it loose. You know, he made his own meter, and he made his own verse lines, and he just like threw every good sounding word in there he could find. And there's just something shaggy and untamed about his poems that I love, something wild and uncontrolled, which is like America at that time. Like this, you know, he's a product of all like these people like going out west, and these people like making all these new factories, and like people cutting down trees up north, and like all these people just scrambling to like make something out of this land. And you know, he saw the Civil War, he saw the nation nearly tear itself apart. He saw all these different people, these Irish people and French people and English people and black people and Native Americans, and so he's just wild. He even says something like, I shake my wild locks at the sun, and his poetry was so sexual too, a lot of it, which shocked and offended many people.
Is that what you want to play, a character that's just very raw, that's very sort of untamed?
Some of them, yeah. I mean, there are a lot of different characters I want to play.
Sure.
Not just outsiders, but
right.
I'd love to play a character like that. It sucks. There was actually a play in New York that I wanted to audition for so badly, but it was Walt Whitman in his 30s, so I was too young. I think it was called, what was it? It was like Emily Dickinson Paranormal Investigator, which is about a version of Emily Dickinson that was a paranormal investigator. And their version of Walt Whitman, it said, think of like a young Dracula, someone who was willing to do anything to get what he wants, and he sells his soul. And I was like, damn, I wish I could play that version of Walt Whitman.